B3.
The Radio Whammo Breakfast.
Yep, indeed, it certainly is. And it's time to stare into the night sky and chat with Dylan Storey for Dylan Storey's Astronomy. Yeah, thanks very much to Stardome Observatory. G'day there, Dylan.
Hello, Whammo.
Last week at this time, we were talking about the Space Shuttle Discovery. It had been delayed. It was meant to take off over the past couple of weeks, and you said it had, in fact, been delayed until, I think, the weekend, New Zealand time. What's happened since then?
Well, it had been delayed a lot by the weather. By faults. They keep finding these niggly little faults on it, which keeps putting off the launch. And last week when we talked about it, it had been cleared for launch, but had been delayed by the weather.
Right.
So after that, some more last-minute checks actually revealed more faults. So it still hasn't launched. They've found a crack in one of the tanks, and that's quite serious.
Crikey!
On the screen,
like a fuel tank.
To be honest, I'm not sure what part of it is. I assume that's not the crack that's going straight through to where the fuel is kept. Or that would be much more serious. But
yeah.
They found some flaking foam, and they dug underneath the foam, and they found this structural crack. So Discovery's been put on hold till possibly next year, which is kind of a
wow, a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's not a huge setback for the International Space Station, but it is significant. These niggling little things that keep going on, and it's kind of an indication of why the shuttle fleet is retiring.
Isn't? Yeah, well, exactly. And the fact that they're finding cracks like this just shows how old the material, I suppose, on the shuttle is. I'm just wondering. I'm just looking at the crack now, and it's sort of like a wavy crack that goes around some of the bolts or nuts on the side.
Serpentine crack, if you will.
Yeah, a serpentine crack. I like that. Is it hairline? Do you think?
No, I think hairlines. You can't see a hairline crack like that.
Yeah, it's quite obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite obvious.
And so,
I wouldn't jump in a space shuttle with a crack like that in the side.
And what we can see also on that is foam around it as well. What's the foam for?
That's the thermal shielding, because the thing goes through such high temperatures when it launches so much, but when it comes back into the atmosphere, it's sort of got to go against the friction of all of Earth's atmosphere and generates incredibly high temperatures.
And of course, it's foam that's caused problems on previous launches, in fact, and re-entries as well. There was the
foam panel breaking off was.
There was the disaster only a few years ago on re-entry from something that had actually happened on takeoff.
Yeah, a foam panel was loosened and it came off on re-entry, which then it went on to hit something important, an engine or something, and resulted in the whole thing blowing up, basically.
An explosion, Dylan. It blew up at the end of the day.
It blew up, yeah. Mm. Basically, at those temperatures and that speed, the tiniest little thing that goes wrong just can basically annihilate the whole craft.
Mm. So that's delayed till next year. We won't be able to talk about that for a wee while. What about the night? No. Yeah, what about the night sky?
Well, it's kind of interesting looking at the night sky at the moment, because it's kind of the transition period between what we usually think of as a winter sky and a summer sky. So the winter sky, things like Scorpius and Sagittarius can be seen in the sky. And summer sky we associate more with constellations, the constellation Orion and things around it, like Canis Major and Taurus and Pleiades. So now in the evening sky, you'll have those features of the winter sky. They'll be setting over there in the west.
Yeah.
So the scorpion, the big scorpion in the sky, is kind of diving towards the horizon in the west, with its head poking down towards the horizon. And opposite it, in the summer, we've got Orion and there's other things rising. Sorry, I should have got you a picture for this, shouldn't I?
It's quite all right. Orion rising, yes.
Orion will be rising in the east. and with it the other things like the Pleiades cluster will be visible on the horizon slightly north of east. So to the northeast, you could say. The Pleiades, of course, being on the horizon, Pleiades is also known as here in New Zealand as Matariki. So that can be seen on the horizon, and let me just get this clear. These things can be seen all the time, but when we're talking about the night skies, we tend to think of what you see in the evening sky, so before you go to bed. Whereas if you were going to stay up all night, you'd be able to see these things at all different times of the year. But we talk about sort of
only people on party uppers are seeing this stuff, Dylan.
Yeah, and they're usually in no condition to be analysing the layout of the sky.
No, what they do need though is something that I got recently on my phone, and that's Google Sky Map, which is very cool.
Oh, is that the one that you can just hold up and it shows you what's shows you what's up there?
It somehow knows. I think it works best when you're outside, when it's got your GPS positions. Oh no, it's actually it's working inside as well. It's got a line where the horizon is, and then you can move it around and point it at the sky, and it will tell you what you're looking at. In fact, the other night I saw, what's that star? Turned out it was Jupiter.
Oh.
And it's very accurate. You're like going, oh, okay, so is this actually pointing directly? And you go, yeah, no, it is. It's actually definitely facing. And
so it uses its GPS and its attitude control too.
Yeah, and if you point it at the ground, say at night, right? It's like I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning. You'll find the sun. You'll see where the sun is, but like through the earth, on the other side of the earth.
Well, that'd be a great teaching tool, because a lot of people say that. They say, well, why can't we see Orion now? Or where's Aquarius now? And you have to say, well, it's kind of right down below, and it's actually quite a hard spatial concept for people to get until you get familiar with it, and it kind of all falls into place. So that'd be a great thing. They're becoming more and more common, those apps. Well,
there you go. I mean, if you are a teacher and you want to get the kids enthused about this sort of stuff, get a phone and get Google Sky Map on it. Very, very, very choice.
You can get them for Android, I expect?
Yeah, Android. I'm not sure if it's available on the iPhone at all. I don't know, but definitely Android. Cool, thanks very much, Dylan. Of course, people can go and stare into the night sky at the Auckland Stardome Observatory as well. It's a good place to go. They've got some great telescopes there, and they've got a brand new foyer with all kind of things to see in there as well. And, of course, Dylan, you'll be back same time next week.
Yeah, so Stardome telescopes are going quite well in these clear night skies. And the Jupiter's always a winner to look at. People really love it when they can see the moons, and they love actually seeing that thing there and think, oh, that dot in the sky is actually resolved into this thing. It's quite amazing watching the response from people. And also looking at the moon and seeing all the craters and lines between light and dark and different features.
It's a lot of fun.
So yeah, great time of year for looking at the sky, I reckon.
Cool. Thanks very much, Dylan.
Thanks, Wemo.
And time now here on Kiwi